Rephrase your question again.
These black governments that are running white farmers off their land, was that institutional power?
I mean, yeah.
So were they racist?
I mean, no. I mean, like, you could, like, it's from a historical...
Was that harmful to do to a white farmer?
Okay, but was it harmful for your ancestors to take my ancestors from their own motherland? That wasn't harmful? That's not harmful?
Well, wait.
That's not harmful that, like...
hang on. First of all, can you demonstrate any of my ancestors did that?
I don't know your ancestors.
Then why did you just say my ancestors did X?
Because I'm just...
I have another heated one with me. Andrew triggers racist queen by refusing to fall for a victim card. I repeat, Andrew triggers racist queen by refusing to fall for a victim card. I can't wait for us to watch this. This is gonna be a heated one, and if you haven't subscribed, do well to hit the subscribe button. And trust me, I do not own any right to this content. Whenever you see me dish out content here, I'm only reacting to it by adding my own constructive feedback and commentary. So this is a reaction video and in my review, right? So without further ado, without wasting much of our time, let's get right into this video.
I would understand why someone might assume that sort of thing, because historically white people have been the most racist towards other races. Would I go on like an angry tangent because someone called me a racist? No, I would calmly explain that that's not the situation.
Wait, question for you. Do you think like American whites are more racist than like Japanese people?
I don't know any. How the fuck would I know
Japanese people? But I'm
you know what's really funny about the conversation? Ultimately, what's hilarious about it?
What's so funny?
It is funny. Is that we're being charitable to your definition and trying to explore your definition, trying to make arguments as refutations to what you define racism as, trying to literally stay inside your worldview as we argue, right? But let me just ask you to do that in reverse. Be charitable towards us. Racism is just, I don't like a person based on their skin color. Based on that definition, if you're being charitable to my worldview,
sure.
Can black people be racist?
Hang
on. Let me ask you the question again.
No.
Since we've been sitting here
black
being
people can be racist
super
towards
charitable
other races,
to your worldview, to everything you had to say,
sure.
Within the confines of your worldview, contending with that, with your definition, can you contend with ours? All racism is not liking somebody based on their skin color or treating them differently based on their skin color. That's what I think racism is.
Okay.
Using that definition, can white people be, or can black people be racist to white people?
100%.
Can they or not?
Sure. Yeah.
Nope.
Thank you, Lucy. Though. No, Elle, still no.
Look, I'm gonna stand by my stance on no, because at the end of the day, like, you guys had, not you guys, I'm so sorry I'm saying you guys, but your
what
ancestors.
What do you mean you guys?
Do you think like an Asian person can be like racist to a white person? Because like I like face racism every day.
I'm sure you do, which is really upsetting.
No, you don't.
Every day
every single day, for real. Everyone saying I eat dogs and cats. It's crazy.
I was called a bed wench once. Like,
I face sexism every day.
Every day.
Lucy Goosey, can you read this?
Check out the Barbary slave trade. Transatlantic slave trade is always talked about, not Africans enslaving Africans. Plus, 8% of the world is white, the global minority. Google it. Black, brown, and yellow are the majority, always the victim, never their fault.
Yo, John, thank you for the soup chat. I do appreciate it. That is a good point. Whites were definitely victims of slavery. Wait, why are you rolling your eyes? Whoa.
Because I'm just so tired of this conversation.
Wow, you're rolling your eyes at white slavery? Imagine if you did that. I
mean, weren't you guys called indentured slaves to your own people in Britain?
Right now, for instance.
I already agreed with you. I said yes.
Right
and
now,
from your worldview, I can understand why you might think that.
Can you stop finger banging her over there, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just
guys.
My bad.
Calm down.
I'll have to wait till after the podcast.
Yeah, calm down.
Yeah.
Right now, you would agree in some South African territories, blacks have institutional power and are running white farmers off their land. Yeah,
that's a good thing.
She said that's a good thing.
It's crazy.
Wrongful Rage donated $100. Chair 1,
so
whatever incest-ridden trailer park white trash place did your hippy-dippy whitewashed love come from? I know Chair 5 knows Kuma Billies with more sense. Feel hurt racism is universal.
Gooner Billy. I like Gooner Billy better
Rage,
than Coomer
appreciate
Billy.
it. You had something for her?
Yeah, I was just wondering, is that institutional power?
Rephrase your question again.
These black governments that are running white farmers off their land, was that institutional power?
I mean, yeah.
So were they racist?
I mean, no. I mean, like...
She's a hypocrite, guys.
It's from a historical...
Was that harmful to do to a white farmer?
Okay, but was it harmful for your ancestors to take my ancestors from their own motherland? That was harmful? That's not harmful?
Well, wait.
That's not harmful that, like...
hang on. First of all, can you demonstrate any of my ancestors did that?
I don't know your ancestors.
Then why did you just say my ancestors did X?
Because I'm just... Your aunt...
What?
Aren't you white?
Yeah.
Okay. Aren't you from America?
Well, no. Originally, all Americans have Western or Eastern European roots.
Okay, but where did your family come from?
Ireland and England.
Okay, and they came over here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Why does that mean they had a hand in the slave trade?
I would recommend doing a little DNA test to see if you had any like slave,
You're part white though. I think you should do a DNA test.
Well, hang on.
You got some.
I just want you to help me out with this. Hang on a second, Brian. Hang on. I just want to ask you this. Even if it was true, right, that the people group I come from was totally responsible for African slavery 100%, what the does that have to do with my ancestry being responsible for it?
Thank you.
Well, one is
Am I responsible for the sins of a nation?
But you are responsible for changing the way that how racism is viewed. You have the power to sit here and to advocate for us as black women.
You.
Well, we do that.
We're trying.
We're trying every day. Like every day, we're trying. You don't understand.
Yeah, but what if I don't believe? What if what's going on here is I don't understand the logical consistency of saying racism is power plus prejudice, and then I give you a nation where it's blacks.
That wasn't the definition that we gave. That was the definition that Brian gave.
You gave it an additional qualifier, and the qualifier was stereotypes and harm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to add this qualifier in. I gave you a nation which white farmers being run off their land, the institutional powers with blacks. It's clearly harmful. Clearly harmful to the whites to get run off their farms, and clearly stereotypical that they need to be.
I mean, are they?
This fits every single criteria you both agreed to.
But are they calling them porch monkeys?
No, they call them worse things. They call them even worse slurs, and they kill them.
Are they making their mothers and their sons
kill them?
Get together and
they kill them. Tell me.
And my ancestors
give me
were
anything
killed
worse
as well.
than death. Give me anything worse than death.
My ancestors were killed as well.
Give me anything worse than death.
My ancestors were killed as well.
Can you give me anything worse than death?
My ancestors had to literally were coming from the.
I'm not talking about my ancestors. I'm talking about what's happening right now.
You could have been an advocate back in the time when.
Are you going to ever answer my question?
What was your question?
Okay, so real quick, is there anything worse than death?
There's nothing worse than death.
Okay,
I mean,
great.
Actually, no, there is.
Done.
Afterlife. It's the afterlife.
Yeah, great. Okay, so there's nothing worse than death.
No, there is.
These people are being killed right now. They're being killed by black governments. They're getting run off their properties by black governments. Hang on. And the black governments are stereotyping them as being evil because they're white.
Okay,
are
and what
they
about
at least racist? Are those
and what about
racist?
the police taking black men?
Just concede.
We're talking
gang and putting guns into our community.
You're talking about two different things.
Chad, is she trolling, bro?
I'm not even trolling. I'm just. This is coming from a place of like hurt.
I'm gonna engage.
I'm gonna engage.
Where is the nation of the United States?
Do you know there are sundown towns?
Hang on.
Do you know that there are still sundown towns?
Do you know what the United States is, and do you know what the country of Africa is? They're two different countries, right?
Yeah, and you.
Hang on, stop. I just want to make sure. Is the United States a different country than Africa?
Of course.
Not really. They're different continents. But anyway,
where are you at?
Are they different continents? North America and Africa? Are they different continents?
They are, but that still doesn't negate the fact that...
What are the 7 continents? Wait, can we ask her what?
Yeah, Africa, America, Canada.
Shit.
Wait, keep it. Yeah,
Canada.
You got
Canada is a continent.
Yeah, keep going.
America is a continent.
Yeah, I know. Keep going.
Africa is a continent.
Keep going.
Asia is a continent. Antarctica is a continent.
Yep.
Alaska is a state. There's 2 more.
G'day, mate.
Russia is a continent.
Yeah, keep going.
And I said Asia. There's 1 more.
Well, yep, last one.
Kangaroos.
Australia.
I don't know, Andrew. If she thinks Canada.
Russia.
Russia. She said Canada and Russia.
Russia's
Russia's
a continent, stupid.
I don't know if she has the requisite geographic understand. I don't know if it's even worse.
So Canada is not a continent and Russia's not a continent?
Can you name 3 countries?
3 countries?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. There is 3 countries. I'm going to name the countries in Africa, actually.
Yes.
Cameroon.
Yep.
Nigeria.
Whoa.
Yes, that's a country. And let me see, Cape Cod.
That is in New England, but good job. You did.
Oh, Cape Cod is not in. Oh, no.
Well, then you're wrong.
There's no Cape Cod in Africa.
Wakanda.
No, is it Cape Town? Cape Town.
You guys, this lady was something else. She was something else. I really don't know, but I think I'm just gonna call her a hypocrite. She was just more of an hypocrite. You guys, this video was a hit, and this lady is just something else. She's a typical definition of an hypocrite. I think I'm gonna use that word. She's a full definition of a racist. You guys, I don't know if she really understands the definition of what racism is all about. You guys, I think we have to go to the dictionary and explain what racism is for this lady so that she can really understand before she come out there and say whatever she want to say. Come on. The truth remains that a lot of black people are racist, but they tend to deny the facts. Every time when we talk about being a racist and racism, we always push it down to the white people. But the truth remains that a lot of black people are actually racist. But they don't tend to say it. They feel like, oh, it's the black that practices racism and all that. But it's the other way around. Now, back in the 17th century, back then, Andrew gave a scenario of the South Africa chasing the white people out of their land. Did you get that? There was a certain time that South Africa was chasing white people out of their land. And now where is this narrative coming from that only the white people are racist? Let's call a spade a spade. Everyone, a lot of us are practicing this racism. Some of the black people are racist and some of the white people are racist. It takes someone who is a child of God to identify as someone who takes everyone as one, because we are one body in Christ. Right? The thing that the South Africa did to the white people was so extreme. They chased the white people out of their land and they killed most of them. And then where is this narrative coming from that it's just the white people that are racist? What kind of mentality are we actually feeding people out there, feeding our youth out there? Funny enough, they told her to list out the continents we have in the world. She couldn't even list one. I just feel like she has been brainwashed. I mean, she has been, her IQ has been twisted. She needs to go back to history. Guys, I'm sorry, I didn't come here to rant, but most time when I listen to people speak or have conversation with Charlie, most of them are dummies. Their brain has been, at times I used to ask myself, don't this person have common sense? Do people actually listen before they speak? Her brain has been brainwashed. She needs to go and study history. And before I will keep saying it there on my channel. You can't come out there and have a conversation with Charlie. Before you come and stand on that stage and have a conversation with any of all those activists of Americans, you need to be grounded. You need to have gathered facts. You need to study history. I don't know it all. That is why most times I listen to Charlie, because Charlie is grounded up there. Let's be very realistic. We black sold ourselves to the whites. I am black. I wasn't there when all this thing happened. But then I read history. And I came to understand that we black, we're actually the one who sold ourselves to the whites. I mean, there was constitution that governed us back then. There was constitution that governed the black people back then. And then what I read was, I discovered that the black people was selling their children to the white people for tobacco. I mean, it was more or less like trade by barter. So the white people cannot just come from their place and just capture the black people. We sold ourselves to them for tobacco. We did sold ourselves to them for tobacco. We need to go and study our history and stop moving around with the wrong narrative. It was a business then. Back then, in the 17th century, the black people were selling their children to the white people for tobacco. It was business. It was trade by barter. If you read and you study your history well, you will understand that Africans sold their fellow Africans. Let's stop painting this thing the other way around. And based on the lady having that conversation, she was just trying to play the victim card, saying, oh, their ancestors this, their ancestors that. Can she actually list the names of the ancestors? Or was she even bet that time? You know, we come into the world and we listen to history, we listen to people speak. You know, most time you don't need to listen to people, you need to go and read books, read histories. All these things were historical, they were placed. They are histories for the upcoming generation to read, to know what happened back then. That is why it's good to read books. Go and read your book well. You discover that we, the fellow blacks, sold our fellow blacks to the whites for tobacco. The white didn't just come and hijack us like that. So we sold ourselves to the black for tobacco. It was trade by barter. It was business then. So she was just trying to play the victim card. Now the issue we are facing is that they keep saying that the whites are racists and then the black people aren't racist. You guys, I kid you not. Every one of us, we are racist. The high time we change this narrative and accept the fact that we are one. We are all racists. Because once you identify yourself as black and you see someone that is white, we feel, oh, this person is a different color from ours. But that is not the way God created us. The Lord created us to be one, irrespective of your skin color. We are one. This thing has really eaten deep into the fabric of, I don't know what to say. But guys, comment down below, tell me what you think about this particular clip. I don't have much to say, but currently we need to go back to history. We need to go study history the more. Thank you so much. It's still your girl, BB Herefros React. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do well to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.